Ethics and governance. Accountability means being answerable and the expectation of account rendering. Sometimes also, accountability goes beyond the basic definition of being called to account for one's actions. It is frequently described as an account-giving relationship between parties, in this case, between the government and the governed. By tagging the report of every 100 days spent in office as an account of stewardship, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola's administration not only understands the import of being accountable, but in the last 6 years has made conscious efforts to practically demonstrate its being accountable to the people. Again, the administration is 2,200 days in office, and it is time for stock taking. In the last 100 days, Governor Babatunde Fashola, in continuation of the tradition of excellence, executed programs and projects that would further enhance the welfare and the well-being of Lagosians, as well as the development of the state. The handing over of Emeka Anyoku Housing Estate on Tuesday 9th April 2013 was a giant stride in shoring up the state's housing stock. Located at Ikeja, besides the Lagos State Police Command, the estate comprises 10 blocks of houses. 9 of these blocks have 8 units of maisonette each, while the 10th block has 7 units of maisonette.
Many of you will see a housing estate. I see a lot more. But this project for our government is a treasure of many useful lessons of life. Inside this project, there's a history of urban renewal. And there are very hard lessons that we have learned about project planning and project management. This building, this estate, this project also shows us all very clearly to our own faces that we are fallible because we are human beings and that we will make mistakes. So inside this estate, there are lessons of the mistakes that we made, and that it is not making mistakes that matter. It is getting up after you have made those mistakes, admitting that there were errors, and going back to deal with the problem. 2 most enduring lessons in this project, for me, typify the character of our government. An absolute commitment to the preservation of human life, and a respect and celebration of public service.
This project is a milestone in the quest of the present administration to provide decent housing for the people. It is so described because the piece of land on which the estate stand had for long served as a refuse dump. The topsoil was very loose and had high concentration of degradable materials upon which no enduring structure could stand.
I think what has happened here today is an illustration first of the capacity of this administration led by Governor Fashola to deliver practical dividends to the citizens of this state. And secondly, the fact that they have decided to honor me in this way underscores the patriotism and the Nigerianness of Fashola's administration.
When we took over in 2007, now we had a choice. We noticed that some of the structures started to show signs of cracks. So we now had 2 choices. It's either to underpin, that is to strengthen the foundation, or to demolish all the existing structures, considering the huge amount of money the government has spent in building those structures. And the governor, that's the Babatunde Raji Fashola, took the bold decision. He told me there as a commissioner that, look, I'm not prepared to lose one single life, that we should demolish. And when we demolished, what I saw underground was shocking. We saw used tires, chassis of trailers. So what did we do now? We demolished. We had to remove all we dug up to about 3.5 meters deep to remove existing soil. We imported sharp sand to this place. On top of that, we used pile foundation. So everybody is happy. So the structures you are witnessing today now, nothing will happen to them.
With Lagos Homes, a total of 2,624 housing units are under construction in about 22 housing estates in different parts of the state. This include 492 units in Igodo, 360 units in Igbogbo Phase 2, 560 units in Agboa, 336 units in Odo-Ragunshi, 86 units in Bagada Phase 2, 240 units in Ogba, 540 units in Songotedo, 120 units in Ilukbeju, 36 units in Surulere, 180 units in Lekki, 132 units in Omole and Magodo. As part of this year's Traffic Safety Campaign Week, Governor Raji Fashola on Wednesday, 17th of April, presented the Driver's Education Multilingual Audio-Visual Training Material to the public, produced by the Lagos State Drivers Institute LASTRI and titled Defensive Driving. It is part of the attempt by the present administration to deepen drivers' education in the state.
You see advertisements about anti-malaria drugs, not so? You see advertisements about insecticides, not so? You see advertisements about mosquito nets. You heard about Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation helping with malaria, polio, and HIV, not so? But the truth is that it is not disease alone that is killing our people. It is avoidable things like safety on the road, accidents that is killing them. Now the question is, are we doing enough about that? This is why we are here today. I think that one government should do something about it, and Lagos State government wants to be that government. So this is why driver training is at the core of our public transport policy.
There is another effort to get people to understand that the art of driving is a profession. Just like people are chartered accountants, people want to be chartered drivers. So we will not stop until we get to a point where we can bring the fatality and the accident on our road to a zero level. I'm talking of the avoidable to zero.
During the week also, representatives of automobile dealers associations, transport companies, transport safety experts, as well as transport-related agencies of government converged at the Federal Palace Hotel in Victoria Island at an event dubbed An Evening with Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola. The forum provided an opportunity for the administration to interface with these stakeholders, as well as put across to them various policies and programs introduced to unlock the potentials of the state transportation system and make it more business-friendly. Encouraged by the tremendous success recorded in previous immunization programs, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola flagged off the National Immunization Plus Day at Ikpaja. The participation of the state in this program will strengthen the remarkable progress already achieved in its policy of preventive Medicare. Within the period, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola handed over 3 comprehensive primary health care centers located at Iga, Idugaran, Ikpaja and Ajara in Badagry. These flagship centers now provide 24-hour medical services for the people within their catchment areas. On the long run, they will play a key role in the drive to make healthcare accessible and affordable to Lagosians.
You can't understate the importance of coverage. And what this 24-hour PHC brings to the people of Badagry is access, increased access. So whatever need they have, health needs they have at any time of the day, they have somewhere to go to access it. And it's not only not only has it increased access in terms of time that they can access it at any time of the day. Also, the services that are provided, comprehensive services are being provided for minor ailments and also for HIV/AIDS services, for treatment, for care and support. So it has really brought service down to the people of Badagry. Yeah.
The current indices relating to the health status of Nigeria shows that we are moving at a very low help towards the attainment of the Millennium Development Goals. And the reason why that progress has been slow was simply because adequate attention has not been paid to the primary healthcare center, which forms the bedrock of the healthcare services. People within local communities, they do not have immediate access to healthcare when they are in medical need. They have to travel several kilometers. The essence of commissioning this structure is to improve the access of the local community to healthcare delivery, and by extension to the attainment of Millennium Development Goal, particularly Millennium Development Goal 4 and 5, which relates to maternal mortality, reduction of maternal mortality and reduction of infant mortality.
Within the last 100 days, the comprehensive infrastructural, procedural and welfare reforms of the judiciary being pursued by the present administration yielded another dividend. Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola handed over the newly completed edifice for Judicial Service Commission. Apart from being one of the many steps taken to guarantee the independence of the judiciary, the building, along with the new magistrate court handed over at Koka Aguda in Surulere, will make justice more accessible to Lagosians. On Tuesday, 28th of May 2013, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola swore in 6 new judges for the State High Court. The ceremony, which was held at the Adeyemi Bero Auditorium in Alausa, came at a critical time when there were calls for the judiciary across the nation to do a self-re-examination. Lagos State Judiciary has demonstrated its usual readiness and commitment to dispense justice timely and without fear or favor. The education sector was not left out, as the administration delivered another new block of classrooms in Surulere. The continuous provision of conducive teaching and learning-friendly environment will be a big boost to the fortunes of public schools in the state, and it is bound to bring about a new lease of life to all of them. Towards appreciating various individuals, corporate bodies and religious organizations that support the administration through intervention projects in public schools under the Support Our Schools initiative, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola held a breakfast and award meeting with these supporters. The administration also hosted the 3rd Lagos State Education Summit. The summit has provided enormous avenue for the government to leverage on the rich ideas of stakeholders to move the state's education sector forward.
The issues that were discussed are absolutely pertinent to parents, to schools, to children, students themselves. The aspect of teaching and learning that came up yesterday, and finding ways in which to improve the learning experiences of children, I think was very well managed and well done, and there are lots of key messages that are encouraging and that parents would find particularly interesting, that head teachers and schools would find enormously helpful. So I think the summit has stimulated the debate, has continued the momentum that Lagos State Government has put in place, and so beneficiaries, I think, would benefit from the discussions and the clarity around policies that have come through in the summit.
Yes, so students, so young people are the future of Nigeria, they're the future of Lagos State, and they need the highest quality of education possible, and these sort of summits provide an opportunity for practitioners to exchange ideas about what are ways that their whole system can improve to deliver a better quality of education, and that should be the fundamental building block for the future of Nigeria.
You cannot continue to score yourself. So it's difficult to do an examination and you score yourself. It's important to allow outsiders and other stakeholders to actually score your activity. So the essence of the summit is to report what we've done. You know, this is the 3rd. There was a 2nd. So the 2nd has recommendation. The essence is to now say, well, out of those X number of recommendations, we've done this number. These are the challenges, and then share ideas. So people who have done it in some other jurisdiction, you can share ideas with them. They can share with you, tell you what has worked, so that you don't go and repeat something that's going to fail. So the essence of the summit is to make sure that we learn and then see what we can do better, given what we have in our country.
Between Wednesday 13th and Friday 15th March 2013, Lagos State government again drew national and international attention when it convened the 5th Summit on Climate Change. The summit had as theme Vulnerability and Adaptability to Climate Change in Nigeria, Lagos State Transportation, Housing and Infrastructure. Using the platform provided by the summit, stakeholders not only resolved to focus on measures that would aid adaptation and mitigation, they also recommended that the federal government should create the enabling environment for the private sector to aggressively tackle climate change through mitigation and adaptation initiatives in the interest of green development. In recognition of the role of small-scale businesses in the development of Lagos State, the administration hosted this year's edition of Tradesmen and Artisans Week celebration. The day featured an interactive session with all tradesmen and artisans associations, exhibitions and awards for excellence for outstanding tradesmen and artisans. The visit of Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola to Center for Rural Development in Ekpe is in demonstration of a deep commitment to forge a stronger linkage between the rural areas and the metropolis. Established in 1989, this research organization has been playing a key role in rural development research studies. Its research findings have greatly assisted the state government in the implementation of its rural development policies and programs. The handing over of the Lekki-Ikoyi Link Bridge was a worthy cap for all the programs implemented in the last 100 days. The bridge is a first of its kind in sub-Sahara Africa, because it is a suspension or a cable stay bridge. The construction of this bridge is in line with the policy of the present administration to ensure that all infrastructural facilities in the state are in conformity with its megacity status by year 2015. It has a length of 1.358 kilometers. The length of the suspended section is 170 meters. The height of the pylon is 87 meters from water level navigational requirement, while the clearance averages 9 meters above high water level. The width of the bridge is 20 meters. The bridge is expected to decongest traffic on the Lekki-Ekpe road axis, particularly around Lekki Phase 1.
This bridge is iconic in many respects, such as its architectural design and its civil engineering complexity. These were only secondary objectives. The primary objective in its conception and delivery was to provide a transport infrastructure and a strategic traffic management solution aimed at easing traffic congestion in this area. It is instructive to share with you that if you took the trip that I took coming here, from the foot of this bridge right round to where it opens up on Alexander, you will have traveled 5.8 kilometers approximately. It will take you roughly about 23 minutes to make that journey time. But if you cross this bridge, you'll be traveling 1.38 kilometers and you'll be doing so in only 3 minutes. So at a minimum, depending on how complex traffic is, you'll be saving 20 minutes of your time. That is the purpose of our government. It is initiatives like this that put meaning to life, that sit well with our objective of service delivery as a government. They sit well with our commitment to PATH, which is the acronym for Power, Agriculture, Transportation and Housing.
The development in Lagos is growing very, very fast in all the directions, and infrastructure is on a critical path. And I think a link between Ikoyi and Lekki is really needed, and this bridge is this link, and it will ease the traffic through Falomo Bridge.
it's an icon on its own, and it's, at least today, with what Fashola has done with his team, you can have this bridge in photographs and other parts of Lagos State history. You know, having this as an icon, and it's going to reduce the traffic, a lot of traffic. Now you don't have to drive all the way from here to Falomore. You're coming towards Aja and all that, driving towards Falomore before getting into Queen's Drive or Ikoyi. So it's actually a shortcut. It will save time, it will save life, and it will save your car.
I think that's an excellent initiative by the Fashola administration, and I'm happy to see that other bridges are in pipeline. From the brochure we're reading that there are other bridges being planned in Lagos State, and all these things that are moving the state towards being a mega city in the future. It's an avenue for development and economic growth.
Beyond any shadow of doubt, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola's statement in responsible governance is bold, ambitious and methodical. Lagos today is not only a shining model in responsive governance, it is an exemplary description of the potentials of political power and the change it can bring about. Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola's administration has proved that economic and social development, and indeed sustainable development, can be engineered through implementation of appropriate policies and programs.